February 1945, U.S. Marines landed on the Japanese-held island of Iwo Jima. It was the beginning of 5 weeks of some of the fiercest and most deadly fighting in the Pacific during World War II. Days into the battle, AP photographer Joe Rosenthal took a series of photographs on the top of Mount Suribachi after the capture of that key point on the island. One Pulitzer Prize winning image made 6 men, 5 Marines and Navy Corpsman John Bradley, national heroes. Now there are questions about both the photo and the historical account. Scott Thuman spoke with the son of one of the heroes.
All my life we were told that my father was in the middle of the most reproduced photo in the history of photography. The key was he wouldn't talk about it. He told my mom about 7 minutes of information on their first date. Never again in a 47-year marriage did he say the words Iwo Jima. The photo wasn't part of his life, wasn't part of our life.
It wasn't until after his father died that James Bradley even read a book about Iwo Jima, and then he wrote his own, the bestseller Flags of Our Fathers. The book became a movie.
Horrible blood battles, and it was just yard by yard fighting.
John Bradley, a Navy corpsman, was awarded the Navy Cross for his heroism on Iwo Jima.
He saved a Marine's life, ran through 35 yards of merciless Japanese gunfire, his citation said, and dragged the guy back with the Japanese shooting at him.
After 5 days of brutal combat, the Marines took Mount Suribachi.
They got to the base of the mountain the morning of February 23rd. A 40-man patrol went up first. They put up a flag. That was the first flag raising on Iwo Jima.
That flag raising was captured by a Marine photographer. Then came a call for a second flag.
The colonel down below said, "Hey, I want that as a souvenir. Get me another flag, make it bigger." And then they put up the second flag on Iwo Jima.
AP photographer Joe Rosenthal had summited the mountain just in time.
He swung his camera, he got an accidental shot. That shot Americans fell in love with, and that second shot has overshadowed the first flag raising. Look at the photo, it's a beautiful photo. Hit the front page of the New York Times, all of our newspapers.
It hit the front page of the New York Times again this week. This time with news that the Marines had opened an investigation into whether John Bradley was in that famous photo after all.
My father's injured in a hospital bed in Hawaii 2 months after the battle, and the Marines come to him and say, "See this picture?" He says, "Yeah, nice picture. Where's that from?" They could have said it was from Australia or Sicily or whatever. They said, "That's from Iwo Jima, that's you." He said, "Oh, well, I raised a flag, I guess that's me." So of course he believed he was in that flag raising photo.
In 2002, long after John Bradley had died, the Marines released never-before-seen photos of that first flag-raising ceremony from a new angle.
Well, you not only can see my dad, you can see his whole body, shoes to the head. So we realized, wow, my dad raised the first flag on Iwo Jima.
Bradley updated his book, believing that his dad had participated in both flag raisings. But now Bradley has accepted what a handful of historians have recently pointed out, that his father wasn't in the most famous photograph of World War II.
And they started comparing what my dad was wearing on the first flag raising, which is definitely John Bradley, to the figure that's supposed to be John Bradley in the second flag raising, and it didn't match up.
A revelation that must still be difficult to process.
I mean, there's a monument. I mean, they spent millions of dollars building a monument, and it says John Bradley's there, right? So since I was 3 years old, you know, I mean, he was in a movie with John Wayne. He's been in that photo all his life. So we're talking about a small technicality. If you open up the photo, my dad's right there. He's right next to these guys. They're all dealing with each other. So my father was up there. He won a Navy Cross. He saved guys' lives. He's a hero of Iwo Jima. So not much has changed, but a small technicality has changed.
There is one fact that we know about the 6 men in the photograph. 3 of the Marines were killed in action in the following days. The Marine Corps War Memorial is modeled after that photograph. It has no names, but honors all Marines killed in duty since the Corps was founded back in 1775.
So if not Bradley, then who is it?
Well, historians believe it is Franklin Sousley, who originally they thought was in the back of the pack. Now that they believe he is in this location, it means there's perhaps one more unidentified Marine in that photo.
All right, Scott Thuman, thanks so much. And we'll be back right after this.